Drew finds a quirky piece, or maybe it's a piece of junk.
How much is this knackered old, burnt, covered in oil table?
Well, I think you're underselling it.
In a barn in Hertfordshire, he prepares to scale the Everest of antiques.
Up you go. We're going to need a bigger van.
And at a Yorkshire Antique Centre, someone's got Drew down to a T.
Blimey, Charlie.
Drew Pritchard is one of Britain's leading decorative salvage dealers.
Wow. Blimey. Look at this.
He scours the country in search of weird and wonderful objects.
I love that. Oh, that's a stonking one. Look at that.
In his hunt for treasure,
Is that marble or stone?
he bargains hard.
16. 17.50. 16. 8 chart.
With help from Rebecca
That's rather good. You drive me around the bend. Lovely. I'll just go downstairs and we'll sort out payment.
and a team of renovators, he transforms thousands of items from junk to gems. At the headquarters of Drew Pritchard Antiques in North Wales, the boys in black are working their magic on the latest buys. With wire wool, wax polish and screwdrivers. In the office, the team are getting the finished products up onto the marketplace. And Drew has a visitor.
Hello, Rob. Hey, Drew. Something in the back? Something in the back.
Rob Bellis is a young dealer from Nook Antiques in nearby Llangollen, who has a special item he thinks will be of particular interest to Drew.
A drawing
No.
by Bugatti himself.
Yeah, and founder of the mark that bears his name.
How much do you really want for it?
400 quid would be fine.
I love it. It's a lot for that, really, but sometimes you're only offered something once, and you just got to have it. Love it. Thank you very much. Right, let's go and get you some money.
The great thing about buying from other dealers is that they use their expertise to find top quality items, and they're easy to do business with, which is why dealer-to-dealer trade is such a big part of Drew's business.
I buy from other dealers a lot. It's a standard way of doing business in the antiques trade. I'm predominantly sell to other dealers as well. So I might find something really phenomenal, but I don't have that market of trade.
Drew loves visiting dealers. He loves the banter. He loves talking about the quality of their stock. And especially, he loves talking about what's hot and what's not in their area.
There's an old joke in the antiques community where 3 antique dealers are washed up on a desert island with 1 chair, and we all make a living.
There are antique dealers working at every level from the market stall up. Today, Drew's got a date in the diary with one who has brought both innovation and style to the business. There's just over a 4-hour drive to St Albans.
We're off to meet a guy called James who runs a business called Quirky Interiors. 2nd generation dealer. Could be a very good day.
It's an ordinary looking barn. Inside is a showroom with a contemporary and shabby chic look. Quirky Interiors is just what it says on the tin, and full of unusual and interesting objects. It's run by James Petrie. The son of dealers, he was brought up in the trade.
My dad would come home every day with vans full of furniture. He would come back with drawers and antiques, come back with penny farthing and bikes. He would come back with all sorts. So, yeah, it was a very interesting time. And I think that's how I've learnt over the years.
Hello, mate.
Hello,
little doggy. James, nice to meet you. How are you?
And you.
Hi.
Joe. Hello, T. Nice to meet you.
Cool. Keen to get inside out this weather.
I'm waiting for you. Plenty's a buy.
Checkbook's
Hopefully.
ready. Hopefully.
Let's
Hopefully.
go.
What have you got in here then? Lots of cool. The look. I like all the tin and everything. It's great.
Yeah, it was something, it's a bit like a tin chapel, that sort of thing, isn't it?
I love those.
So I'm very religious.
Are you?
Yeah, I pray in there every day.
For somebody else to walk in and buy some
exactly.
stuff. Same as me.
Same
Same as me. Exactly the same. First impressions walking through the door is it's a sort of what I'd call a sort of curated look. And it's a very definite look. It's very, very modern.
I bought a load of these once, tried to sell them on. Terrible, they're really slow movers.
I'm sorry, he'll do that. He'll do that most of the day. Well, there's lots of things I like in here. So, is anything priced? You've got price tickets on some.
Do you know, you probably won't find a lot of tickets, so I'll sort of make them up as we go along. I think that might be the best way today.
Okay.
And then you won't get the ticket price, you'll get the so-called trade.
It's not bad, is it?
It's dead right.
One thing he's got in here is a dresser base stroke dairy table. Great big handles, great big drawers. Usually with these, they've been repainted, they've been stripped, they've been messed about with. This is 100% original, really nice find. Very genuine.
The pine dresser base with a scrub top still has its original paint. Although it dates from the 1820s, there have been no repairs or additions to the timber at all. It could be worth around £900.
What's the depth?
It has to be 695.
That's it.
You're starting to realise how ideal.
I am.
I'd say it's a good price. Yep. Great.
Lovely. Thank you very much. Take it, leave it. Done. And I like doing that with a dealer. When you're given a best price by a dealer, it's usually not the done thing to knock at all, to try and knock any money off. Occasionally you have to, but with James, that's not on the cards today. I can tell he's a tough cookie.
But James isn't just a dealer in straightforward antiques. He started embellishing old furniture by adding zinc, brass and copper tops.
That table's odd. Love the top.
It's something we've adapted.
Did you do that?
Yeah, we have. It's something we're
Really?
doing a
That's
lot more.
seriously good.
Yeah, it's different.
What's the top?
It's brass.
That's lovely.
Brass.
Did you patinate this and dent it all
Yeah,
up, or was this how it came?
No, we've patinated it, sort of etched into it, then we've coloured it to sort of give it a bit of depth.
Now, I've got to admit this, and I'm going to upset. Dreadful. This isn't upcycling, this is updating. This is great. This is so interesting what he's done here. This is improving. This is making it cool and current and fabulous and saleable. And the quality of it is excellent. They've done it really, really well.
This is a run-of-the-mill early Victorian mahogany dining table with a pedestal base and circular top. The original piece has now been added to, inset with 4 brass panels, which have been aged to suit the period. It could be worth around £1,400.
I don't think I've ever bought anything that's been updated or, reimagined, really. This, I could live with that in my own house, no problem, every day, and be very happy to be sat at it. How much is it?
I go to 1,100 quid and that'd be it. And even at that, it's too cheap. But
You making money?
I'm making money, but I like to earn a bit more out of something like that because I think it's nice. It's not my average bit of stock. So 1,100 quid would be the death on it.
Yeah, I've got to have it.
Yep, great. Super.
It's lovely. Really nice. This is why it's important to come to different dealers all of the time. Get to know people, get around, get out there, meet people. Because every now and again you'll come across somebody who's doing something very different in the antiques trade. And my God, that is different. Impressed. Good. Cool. Right, let's carry on.
For you.
There was a couple of bits I saw as soon as I walked through the door, to be honest
Sure,
with you.
where are we?
British sign. Oh, how much would it be?
Well, is there a 125? But I don't know if I'm selling it.
He moved away. Because I was just about to go, yeah, I'll have it. I could see him.
With both dealers enjoying a bit of friendly sparring, they leave the showroom, heading to the workshop where James has a stockpile of unrestored items.
So where's this part? Because I see. Oh, blimey.
Yes, a few pieces that I've collected over the last year or so.
One thing Drew knows about dealers is that they always have a pile of furniture out the back which isn't ready for display. And he also knows it's where the hidden gems are found.
It's like a mountain. There's been like a furniture tsunami and it's all landed against the... I wouldn't. They're really nice. These are right up my street. I like the stools.
Yeah, they're nice.
All right,
There's
aren't
4 of them. They're an unusual height. I mean, they could be reduced if necessary, but I don't know if they're quite nice as is.
Yeah.
The colour's good on them.
Yeah.
Just different, not just sort of standard.
No, they're odd.
Yes.
A very
Nice
worked
way,
seat
a
and then a
nice
very
one.
rough leg.
Yeah.
Like those.
Exactly the kind of quality pieces Drew was hoping to find. These stools bear the hallmark of the Cotswold School. Dating from the 1920s, the lack of a maker's mark will affect the value, which could be around £900.
They're way too good and well designed not to be by somebody who really knows their stuff. This is really infill without an incorrect choice of material or finish.
Just spot on. How much are they then, James?
You'd want them all, wouldn't you? For a set
Yeah, I
of
want the 4.
300 quid. But that's it on those. I can't go any less on those.
Antiques entrepreneur Drew Pritchard is at Quirky Interiors, a stylish showroom in St Albans, owned by dealer James Petrie. And Drew's fallen for a set of 4 very original wooden stools.
300 quid. But that's it on those. I can't go any less on those.
You can tell he means it because you back off. You do that, you said, that's the best price. Deal with it. Yeah, no, I'll take those, please.
Okay. I thought you would. You're good.
We're going to need a bigger van. We're going to turn around and you can see this enormous pile of furniture. And after, I'm going to use the word teetering on the edge then. It looks like it's all going to fall over on top of you. And there's tons and tons of stuff up there. I've got to go and have a look.
It's like a wounded gazelle, isn't it?
Is it safe up here?
Not anymore.
Maybe.
He's gone out of sight now. We could actually go for a coffee break while he's in.
There's this red painted industrial desk chair. I buy desk chairs and work chairs and industrial furniture all of the time. This one's just a little bit different.
The chair, dating it to just prior to the Second World War, it could be worth around £200.
James,
Yes.
there is a red metal desk chair.
The industrial
Yeah.
sort of style.
Yeah.
125.
I was going to say, tell me it's 75 quid.
No, that's 125. As usual, that's what I'm sticking to, Drew. That's it.
That's it.
Yep.
You're a hard man.
It's different.
Yeah, I've not seen one before.
That's why we put it in the showroom up there.
It's so well presented.
Yes.
Yeah, I'll have that, please.
Yep, thought you would.
Just pop it down with you.
Quite difficult, to be honest. You all right? Yeah. Sure?
Cheers. A bit of dust. Blimey. So it's red.
Marvellous. I can see it in the light now. Yeah, it's great, isn't it?
Yeah.
Different. Yeah, it's just the colour's good, isn't it? The colour makes it, to be honest with you. That red painted colour just completely makes it. But the base is nice and it's a decent size. People work from home now all the time. Everybody's always on the computers. They always have a little place now for their computer. That's where it's going to end up. Cool. Right.
Yep.
Let's
All
get
right.
loaded up, to
Get
be
out.
honest with you. Today, an extremely good day. Saw something really interesting and very well done that's new at Brass into there. Lovely job, absolutely love it. With James, he now is altering these things in a way that is improving them, making them very saleable. Very saleable. I think by financially of the day are the 4 stools. They're wonderful. They encapsulate an awful lot of what I like about everything that I buy. Originality, fabulous design, interesting manufacturing method, great condition, highly original. Standout item, I would suppose, today would be the dresser base, or dairy table, whatever you want to call it. It's exceptionally original. James, pleasure, mate.
Thank you very much.
Thank you very much.
Good luck with everything.
Yeah, nice
Yeah,
one.
thanks.
Good to
Thanks
meet you.
very much. And
Yeah,
you.
nice work.
Yeah.
All right, cheers. See you soon.
It was an enjoyable day. It was interesting.
And Drew can't wait to get back to HQ to show off his buys.
Buy of the day.
Look, Ruth, look at these.
Look at these.
Oh, wow.
How nice are these?
Oh, wow. Oh, sit down.
Aren't they fab?
Cup of tea? Oh.
So, your Boggo standard
Very sort of
Vicky.
mature. Yeah.
table. Nothing special.
It's going to be really interesting because the bottom's quite boring, isn't it? Drew got out of the van first at the base of a sort of very boring mid-Victorian table resistance that I'm going to put on top.
put this onto the original top, and it's brass.
How weird.
Yeah. I don't often like stuff like this at all, but this is too clever.
Now, I'm not sure. I didn't go, oh, wow. And I looked at Ruth, and she didn't either. It's a bit of a Marmite one, this one.
This is really nice. 1820s, 1830s, totally original. How nice is that?
That's lovely. That I like.
Is that lovely or what?
That's amazing.
I love the colour. It's that sort of custard gone off a bit. It's superb. I mean, it's possibly nearly 200 years old. It's not...
I don't know. I understand it, I just don't know if I like it.
Drew's next call is to a dealer at the top end of the trade. The lads are off on the long drive south to Castle Carey in Somerset.
So, T, we're off to the factory, and it's run by a guy called David and his daughter-in-law, Tess. They bought an old factory, where the name comes from, and they've turned it into a high-end, antique destination, I would call it.
At such a top-class showroom, Drew's likely to find some great antiques that will be very sellable. But there's one small downside.
Are we going to be paying top-end prices today?
That's the only problem today, is it's come through the door. All they've got sick of looking at.
The small Somerset town of Castle Carey, with its historic hub and old-world charm, is a very popular holiday destination. Right next to the railway station is a red brick building that was originally a dairy. Then 2 years ago, it was bought by discerning dealer David Tupman, who now runs it with his daughter-in-law, Tess. After 20 years running a classy antique shop in London's chic Marylebone, he's now opened an equally stylish showroom here in the Victorian premises.
It was a complete wreck, but it was a wonderful building. It was a stroke of madness. We decided to buy it and do it up.
It's wonderful working in the family business. We all get along marvellously, 90% of the time.
Hello.
How'd you do?
Drew, how are you?
David.
Nice to meet you.
How's it?
Tess.
Hi, Tess.
Drew.
Lovely to meet
And you.
you.
And you.
Hi.
Hello, doggies.
Nice to meet you.
Hello. Well, wow, what a place.
Thank you.
Fabulous. This is how to do an antique shop. First thoughts on walking through the door. Wow, this is good. This is incredibly well done. It's been put together by people who are at the very top of their game. It looks fabulous. The colours and the combination is very exotic. It's very worldly. It's very design-led. It's all the super desirable things that you want when you have a really nice house to put them in. This is good. It's going to be an expensive day, I think. We're going to buy a few things. Yeah.
That's how...
The showroom downstairs.
Wow. Now you're talking. Look at that.
I know, it's a bit of an
That is
Aladdin's cave, isn't it?
spectacular. You don't expect it.
No.
We've come to a shop which is specialising in curated designer antiques. It's going to be tricky for me to find things that I can make a good turn on or a turn on at all.
Drew's attracted to classy dealers like David and Tess because of their excellent taste. But he'll be hoping to pick out the pieces which don't quite fit in with the rest of their collection, or still need a bit of work, so he gets the tasteful item without the price tag to match.
This is another fantastic space. Oh, these are rather nice. That's nice. That's lovely.
Yeah, it's a lovely...
Yeah.
Oh, so loved. How many drinks and cigarettes have I had sitting around the fire?
Part fireguard, part seat, club fenders probably originated in 18th century gentlemen's clubs, as somewhere to sit and warm yourself by the fire in rooms where cards and billiards were played. This 20th century one could be worth around £1,300.
What I'm trying to find here today is something that's got some meat left on the bone. Now, club fenders I really like. Went over to one over there. Lovely leather. Just the right size. Just the right height. Great colour. Not a great deal of age to the base. The thing might only be 70, 80 years old. How much is that one?
That's $6.50.
Oh, okay.
David, I'll have it for $6.50. Sure.
500 by it?
I can't do it, Drew.
What can you do?
I think
Anything?
600 quid.
Salvage Supremo Drew Pritchard is at The Factory, an exclusive antique shop in Somerset, run by veteran dealer David Tupman and his daughter-in-law Tess. They're going head-to-head over a stylish club fender.
500 by it?
I can't do it, Drew.
What can you do?
I think
Anything?
600 quid.
Sold.
Okay.
The two experienced dealers know the rules of the game, so they quickly hammered out a price that worked for both.
Turns out he used to be in David's house. He's a good dealer. He's not going to buy something that's wrong. So, what have we got down here? That's nice. That's a mirror. That's a nice thing, isn't it?
Drew's taken with a beautiful and unusual object, so will he be able to do a deal on it as efficiently as last time?
It's a bit of tramp art with some mosaic in there. What's that work done when they use all that?
It's called Casse Assiette. It's broken plates, basically.
Yeah. Very, very attractive. That little thing just sets off a room. So you could have a very stuffy room full of very trad furniture and put that up above the mantelpiece or in a corner. Lightens the mood.
This distinctive-looking glass is a piece of folk art, an original distressed mirror plate set into a chipped carved frame, incorporating unusual mosaic.
Yeah, it's quite nice, isn't it? How much can that be?
£600.
Can't do it. Can't do it. There's just not enough in it. There's just not enough in it.
550 would be the absolute.
I'm sort of the figure I had was 450, but I can come up to 5.
I can't do it, Drew. 550 is the sort of absolute.
And the back's all fine, it's not been messed with.
Yeah, I'm pretty certain, yeah. I'll just have a look.
It's pretty solid on the back.
Yeah, it's absolutely original.
All the original on the back, yeah?
Absolutely, yeah.
Okay.
All right, great, terrific.
5.5, fine. We get it down to 550, and it's still, that. The other thing I saw was this rather sad-looking farmhouse table.
Oh, not my table.
I like the table a lot.
I have to say, this is the one thing in the factory that I really don't want you to buy.
Yeah,
it's
you
supposed to be
do.
going in my kitchen.
What I'm fascinated with is all these, they're burn marks.
Well, this has been in my mother-in-law's workshop. She's a sculptress, but
Yeah.
she welds.
Thousands and thousands of burn marks all over it, which I
Yeah.
quite like. Weld patina.
The kitchen table dates from the mid-19th century. Its pine plank top is very stained and worn from its most recent use. It could be worth around £700.
It's splattered, but quite evenly, all over the surface, with sparks and little bits of weld. And it's to it that almost looks like animal skin. It's super attractive, and it's not going to cost a lot of money. How much is this knackered old workshop, burnt, covered in oil table?
Well, I think you're underselling it. Beautiful.
No, I'm trying to buy
it.
we call it dorsal jus in original condition.
You can dress it up any way you like. That's oil, and that's weld burn. So, yeah.
300 quid.
David, I don't think I can do it for less than 5,000. Okay, deal.
250.
250.
Sold. It's not yours.
Wait, I know, but we agreed we'd split the cash.
Nice legs, drawer at both ends, totally unrestored, original top. So, 250 quickly on the van. Today, superb. What a great place. Just had fun as well. We had a right laugh. I think the thing that's going to sell first is going to be the kitchen table once that's prepped. It's just the ideal size. It'll seat 6 people just. The scale is very good. It's very, very authentic. And then it's got that wonderful top. I think my favourite buy today was the mirror. It's really characterful, fun, relaxed, very, very authentic and completely untouched. So a nice example. The piece that's going to make us the profit today, it's going to pay for the whole day, will be the club fender. It's just the right size and just the right colour. And we got it, I think, that we bought it very
Please.
Apart from selling the table, which I immediately regretted,
Dealing with Tess and David is very good. They're definitely a yin and yang sort of team there. I think that will work out very well. David, pleasure.
True.
Thank you so much.
Yeah, real pleasure. Thank you very much.
And
for coming.
you.
It was lovely to meet you.
Make sure you get
Thanks,
those guys.
Bye.
Bye.
After a successful day with David and Tess, Drew's off to try his luck with a very different kind of dealership. The lads are going straight on to Todmorden in Yorkshire, where there are over 20 different dealers all trading under one roof.
We're going to meet Tom and Roger, who own Picture House Antiques, in the centre of the town. It's an antique centre, and one I've never been to. An antique centre is pretty much a guarantee.
Todmorden grew prosperous on cotton spinning in the 19th century. Still thriving today, the market town has a hub of independent shops, including Picture House Antiques, which has premises on either side of the high street. Both are chock-a-block with 22 individual dealers' stalls. It's run by Tom Shenton, with his stepfather Roger Garlick, who developed eclectic tastes, travelling to far-flung places in his youth.
I ended up taking buses to Kathmandu, and I spent years sort of as a tourist guide to hippies in India, really. And eventually ended up back here, got married, 3 children, business. I've always been interested in old, curious, and attractive things, beautiful things, really. And this just fit.
I'd working here because I was exposed to so much of it. Furniture's my main interest, really.
It's like eclectic, rock and roll, wide mix. It's got to grab your attention immediately.
Hello.
Hello there.
How you doing, Drew?
All right.
Nice to meet you. How are you? Hi. Hello, mate.
T.
Thanks for having us.
You're welcome.
I spotted. Is that you across the road as well?
It is,
That's
yeah.
yours as
Yeah,
well.
yeah. We thought we'd cover both sides, yeah?
Yeah.
So you don't get away. It's a ravine of opportunity.
I like that. I bet those 3 words have never been put together before. There's an upstairs part I'm keen to have a look at as well. Can we go up there and have a look at it now? The shop is, without looking like it, an antique centre, which is a good thing. You know, a little sort of differentiation between all of them. I love to buy from antique centres. You buy, how many dealers say? 22?
Maybe 35 altogether,
there you
with
go.
bits and pieces and people's wives and their dogs and, you know. Because everybody likes to put something somewhere.
Yeah, yeah.
It's like a family thing, you know.
When antique centres work well, they work really well, don't they?
Yeah.
With such a range of experienced dealers showcasing their antiques, it's just a case of what will catch Drew's eye first.
You can have a look around as well, T. There's a lot here to see. See if you can spot anything.
And years of trailing around the country with Drew have paid off. It takes T just seconds to spot a possible gem.
That's right. Yeah, you're right there, T. That's very nice, isn't it? It's funky. Plastic desk lamp. Don't think I've ever bought a plastic desk lamp before, but it's got a seriously good look and scale to it, and it's also clearly by somebody who really knows about their design. The scale of it and the shape and everything is very sort of, well, it's bang on. You know, it's dead right, plastic or not, it's right.
In fact, Drew's judgment and T's is spot on. The Lucifer lamp came from the drawing board of Swedish product design partnership Hans Erik and Tom Ahlstrom. The first fully adjustable desk lamp to be entirely made of plastic, it was launched in 1975, but remained popular all over the world for decades and is now considered to be a classic. This one could be worth £200.
This sort of plastic desk lamp thing over there, it's got 125 on it. Somebody with a sort of design-led office who wants something unusual, 'cause that's surely what it is. You can help me with this today, T. That was a good spot by you there. It's very nice.
Do an impression of you.
That's good. Blimey, Charlie.
Blimey, Charlie. Hey.
They're cool. I like those. They're great. Yeah.
Drew and his doppelganger go back downstairs.
There was these I saw when I came through the door that I like the look of.
Yeah,
Obviously,
they're
Russian.
run by the same dealer.
I really like that one. The Village People one. One thing I really like here is some Russian military propaganda that has been painted quite crudely onto heavies of the Army, Navy and Air Force, but it's really very much of the period.
This piece of Soviet-era propaganda is painted directly onto a steel plate. The text at the bottom declares, "Guards, soldiers, be worthy of the glorious traditions of the Soviet armed forces." Dating from the 1950s and the peak of the Cold War, it could be worth around £400.
The faces are really well done, you know? All in all of them looking that way, so they're looking slightly up and away. If there was no words underneath it and nobody's telling you where it's from, it's obvious where it's from that image. What does that probably says? Leave your shoes and have a shower before you get in the pool. It'll say something like that, wouldn't it? Or...
Young man, it says...
That's what...
Yeah.
Yeah.
That one. Yeah.
Marvellous, thank you. We'll have that. This is a bit of an oddball thing to throw into my website at the moment. It's a seriously cool bit of naive artwork that's particularly well done and could really fit in anywhere.
Next, Drew's keen to see Picture House's other shop, just across the road, where a group of higher-end dealers are displaying their wares.
Oh, look at this. Lovely. Different feeling in here. It's got a more upmarket designer shop feel about it. Lots of things in here. Look at that. Blimey.
Blimey Charlie.
Look at that thing. First thing I see, can't miss it, is a spectacularly weird music stand. It's steel and all sorts of bits and bobs. There's the odd bit. There's a few finials missing and a bolt here and there.
But a person with a huge workshop.
We've got a Carl. And he can fix more or less anything. But these make it, don't they?
Yeah. Gothic.
Yeah, it's a Gothic stand. But then you've got this really simplistic, sort of twiddly little thing going on up here as well.
The decorative brass, copper and steel music stand is a mishmash of different styles and may have been added to over several years, starting in the late 19th century. With 2 adjustable bookrests, it could be worth around £500.
I think I've got to have it, though. What can you do on it?
Lou Pritchard is at Picture House Antiques in Todmorden, West Yorkshire, where dealer Roger Garlick and his stepson Tom have shown him an unusual and very enticing music stand.
What can you do on it?
The one-off, best I can do, £250.
Oh, OK. Fine. I'll have it. Marvellous, thank you. It's got so many design cues from so many different periods. The bottom half is perfection. The style's really good. But the combination, the whole thing, as one, is very, very different. Very unusual, very odd, and I think pretty saleable. OK, well, that's a really good start.
That's an aesthetic movement thing. You don't see a lot of them.
No, I buy a lot of aesthetic stuff. I tend to do quite well on it.
It's quite unusual now, because that surprised me.
Design principles, the characters involved with it as well are just, like, they're made up out of a book. Crazy. And it works, you know?
It's got a bit of worm somewhere.
I've
treated it.
Have you treated it?
Yeah. What, you take it out for dinner? Yeah. What have you done with it?
The aesthetic movement, starting in the 1860s with the battle cry, "Art for art's sake," called for beauty to be taken out of the art gallery and into the home. This table of ebonized wood with gilt decoration, typical of the movement, could be worth around £600.
What's the price on it?
£250.
£250.
What's your best, though?
£225.
£225. Sold. Today, excellent. Bought stick desk lamp. Odd size, odd manufacture, strange colour, but again, really original. Favourite buy of the day? Well, one of the favourites, I think, was the Russian military propaganda. What a great piece, you know. You have to remember the times that would have been in, a terrifying period for anybody to live through. But it did churn out some nice art. I think the most original thing we bought today was the wonderful little aesthetic movement table. So original. From the day that's been made till now, it's had nothing done to it. We've done well today. We found some nice pieces.
I found today very edifying, you know. I was glad to meet people who were very down to earth and doing what I think should be done with this business.
Chaps, Tom, pleasure.
Nice to meet you.
Pleasure. Thank you.
Really enjoyed today, and it's been...
He got the things that were good.
in North Wales, it's time to show and tell.
They're bought well, actually. They were really nice people.
Funky.
They've got like an ad. It's plastic.
Oh, yes.
Look at it. 90 quid.
That's cool, actually, isn't it?
That's on your desk there.
Desk lamp, I think it's a map reading light, because it's just the size of it and you can expand over a large piece.
He buys plastic. It doesn't have to be sort of frowned upon. If the design is strong enough, he'll buy it. Yep.
Paid. Nothing to do to it at all. You can't do anything to it. Straight in the photography room. Just love that.
Now, the communist wall art, I love the colours. I really do. It shouts blokey den. Cool music stand.
Yeah. Never seen one like it before. But it needs work. Engineering. There's just bits on it, all over it, that aren't sort of right.
It's good, isn't it?
Very good.
Now, the music stand, I absolutely adore. I can't see it actually ending up next to a violin or an oboe.
Restaurant is where that is headed. Have your menus as you walk into the restaurant.
Or your cookbook in the kitchen.
Yeah, just lovely with those spikes.
Stand goes into the workshop, where there are some spare parts lined up to replace the missing finials or ornamental edging. Former Royal Engineer Carl has carefully adapted the metal parts in advance.
I don't tell anybody what's in the bottle. There is a mix, it is an acid.
A quick squirt of the mystery spray ages them to match, and they're ready to screw in place.
Right, 5 million more to go.
Then he notices something else that's not quite right.
This one has a nice U shape in it. And this one is missing.
He heats and bends a new brass rod to match the design of the original.
It's pretty good. Not exactly the same, but it's close.
The club fender from the factory is snapped up for a restaurant project in the Far East, along with the Cotswold stools from Quirky Interiors. The plastic design classic from Picture House Antiques is just the signature piece a buyer in Hampshire needed for her new home. And Drew was absolutely right about the Victorian centre table, with its striking brass panels. It flies out of the warehouse to a celebrity chef. The dresser base from Quirky Interiors is just what elaborate propaganda artwork with a military theme catches the eye of banker Andy Bushell-Y and his wife, who march it off to Bexley Heath.
We're really interested in art and have picked up some various sort of prints over the years of artists who we like. We're always looking for something a little bit new and different. I just liked it immediately. I like the colours. I love the historical significance, and I just love the fact that this, sheet of metal was hung somewhere in the Soviet Union nearly 70 years ago, and now it's in my house, and that's really, really exciting. It was a little bit bigger than we expected, but that's fine. We'll find a place for it.